Alright, I'm kind of starting to get a little antsy about this whole Tim Anderson thing. I've said it already, above all else, we need to make sure we bring him back. He's Mr. White Sox at this point. And I know, especially with this guaranteed accept thing, I know we're going to be able to bring him back. With that budget getting slashed, now I'm kind of worried if we do get, like I said, if we do get the Trey Turner thing going through and then all of a sudden we don't have enough to get TA, we don't want that to happen. So right now, if I maxed it out, he's at 80% interest. The guaranteed is still 7 years, 16.1. I don't know, I guess for this week we just kind of leave it here and see what develops further. What about Sano? Just out of curiosity. 74 right now. Could get it up to 89. We don't want to use the guaranteed on him. What if I knocked it all the way down? I'd be fine with 5 years. 62%? I don't know. I'm feeling antsy like I said, but I gotta remind myself, we still have such a good team that even if we end up messing something up, as long as we get Tim Anderson, we're still going to have a good enough team. Like, there's still not really going to be much of a worry. So yeah, I'm just going to advance to the next week. We'll see what develops here. I guess it'll add, I don't know, I'm actually kind of tempted to remove these two for this week just to get more interest for Tim, but we're fine. We'll just advance. Nathan Eovaldi, the Tigers are loading up on pitching, man. I don't want that. They got Nola earlier, now an 86 overall, Knable to the Marlins. We're on to the next week, though. What do we got here? So, Iglesias' agent reached out. I'm not interested. We're getting TA. He's up to 70. Sano's up to 79. Turner up to 43. We're on week 5 of 12, so I guess we just kind of keep going. There's really no reason to make any sort of decision right now because we're less than halfway through. We may as well let those interests build up until either they're full or we get that last chance thing popping up. And I guess, I don't know how this rumor thing works, but I guess if it's not showing up next to TA, there's really no reason to worry about other people trying to get them. What is it? Yeah, free agent rumors. So none of the guys we're looking at are on the rumor screen. So I mean, I guess there's no reason to worry. This Severino, though, I guess that would be interesting to do. I forgot about that. I forgot that I was looking into that. He was not very good, though. I mean, no, he wasn't very good. But he still improved a lot. Still has that potential. He's still under 30. I guess I can change this, though, since we got Taylor Rogers. Don't really need to be looking for left-handed pitcher. I wonder if these... It says they influence... Oh no, it says increase player interest for players who match your selected positional and team needs. So you know what? We got 2 shortstops here. I might see if I can hack this. We got right-handed batter already. Maybe I select contact because Turner's a contact guy too. So I'll click contact for here. And then for positional, let's move this to short. And then you know what? Just in case, I'm going to change this second base one to starting pitcher. Just in case I decide to do a Luis Severino situation. And yeah, this did. Okay, so it bumped the interest we're going to get in TA up to 7%. I wish I would have realized that sooner. And then 5% for Turner. Well, I don't know. I was just looking through the starters. I guess Severino is really the only starter I would have any interest in. Maybe a little bit in this Zach Eflin. Doesn't have the best hits and Ks per 9, but he's not going to walk guys. He was solid last year. He's 28. He's got to be potential, but like, how much better would he really be than like Luzardo? And we'd be paying him $12.5 million a year. That'd be more than Severino, and I bet Severino would be better. I bet he'd do better than this last season. I don't know, man. See, this is kind of why I'm getting antsy with Tim Anderson. Not just to make sure we lock him up, but if I go ahead and get him, then I can feel opened up to make a push at some other guys, because as long as we get TA, we're good. But then also, like, thinking to the future, maybe we should leave some budget left over for when other guys leave, and maybe I shouldn't go with Turner. Maybe I should settle for Odor, but then that would open the door for Severino. Do I even need to worry about starting pitching? Because like Luzardo is probably good enough and young enough that he could be a guy in our rotation for plenty of time still, and he's really the only one lacking when it comes to overall right now, but obviously he's gonna get better. Maybe I should just forget about pitching until next year when we know we're gonna be losing Lance Lynn and we know we would like to add another top of the rotation kind of guy. I'm so indecisive. Let's just advance again. let's just advance again and see if anything interesting happens. Into December now. Aaron Judge signs with the Giants. 9 years, $259 million. Wilson Contreras, 3 years to the Yankees, and Tyler Duffy to Philadelphia. Mike Clevenger goes to the Cardinals. Benintendi to the Reds, Tyon to the Marlins, and we can't do Eflin anymore because he signed with Arizona. Severino's still on the board though, unless it just didn't show me. I don't know, man. I really don't want to put in the offer for TA until we can get it to hit 100%, because I still feel like even if I did this right now at 89%, it's still that dice roll that, you know, we'd have that 1 in 89 shot, but then 90 to 100, if it lands on that in the back end or whatever, we just wouldn't end up getting him. And I think as soon as I would hit submit offer, that's it. Whatever happens, happen. I guess the guaranteed accept is lowering the more interest we get for him though, so I guess, you know, as long as that last chance isn't popping up, if we do have to use that for him, that's getting to be less and less. And I guess if we don't have to use that on him, we could use it on someone else like a Severino or a Turner. I'm sure it would cost a ton to get Turner though on that. Sano's getting more and more interested. We could get him all the way up to 96, 99 if we did 7 years, but I wouldn't want to do that. Low end would be 72. I'm tempted to almost just lock that in too, but we'll wait. And you know what? I will flip them around, actually. That probably should have done that last time. Sano was already interested enough. I would be tempted too to even just take Sano off the board for a week, because then that would give more interest for other guys. Like if I just remove him, that bumps TA up to 9%, Turner to 7%. But I'm just worried that the 1 week I take him off, he would sign somewhere, and since he's not on the list, it wouldn't pop up for that last chance situation. I don't know. I guess we just keep chugging along, see what happens this time. Chris Bassett to the Cubs. Hedges to the Dodgers. Carlos Estevez. Why is it alerting me for a 67 overall D potential? All right, on to the next week. Not really interested in Ledmus Diaz. Although, I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to offer him, but if we do end up not getting a Trey Turner, maybe this wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for like a second base situation. But even if that, we do have Leury to fall back on, so there's not even much of a worry there. So we're up to 84 on TA, up to 54 on Turner, 88 on Sano. So if I wanted to, I probably could. Yeah, I could get Sano up to 100%. We don't want to do that, but I don't know. It feels like there's the only reason to offer to a guy early would be to know what you'd have to go after the next guy. But if I want to just stay with my starting pitching and not worry about Severino, I may as well almost just wait till like the last week to even make an offer on any of these guys, unless there's a last chance thing happening. But like if we could get to the point where Tim is so interested in signing with us that we can like bump it all the way down here and he'd still be at 100%, I mean, would that not be the most ideal situation? We can get him up to 96 now without increasing the years, 99 with, but I don't know. It's not like I plan on getting rid of him, and who knows, we might not even make it to 5 years into this thing, but 7 years just seems like a lot. I mean, having him until he's 36 no matter what. So yeah, I guess we just keep going. One week at a time. And you know what? I might sign Sano next week, because he'll get up to 92. We could have him hit 100 pretty early on in the thing. What if I swap them? What if Sano would gain 6? Because maybe if I'm just going to sign him next week anyway, I should try and get as much interest as possible from Sano without taking these guys off, just in case. I think I might do that, but I still want to get more interest from Anderson than Turner. But then we'll change these for the week to righty power. We already have first base, so then Sano gets 7. So that would get him up to 95, and then we could probably go ahead and sign him. Because I mean, from middle to maximum is not even like $500,000. So even if we went up to maximum, that wouldn't be bad. And maybe I could even take a year off. Then we only have him till he's 33. Less of a chance to regress while we're still paying him. All right, let's go ahead and advance week with where we're at now. See what we got going on. Syndergaard signs with the Padres, and we're going to be up to Christmas here. No more movement. Abreu is reaching out to us. Oh man, don't do that to me. Don't tug on the heartstrings. I mean, that's nice to know that he does already have 67% interest, and I would bring him back. It's just I know this screen is going to look exactly like this again, if not worse. I just don't know if I can handle that. I don't know if I can handle seeing Jose Abreu 71 overall. So we'll say not interested for now. We got Tim up to 90, Sano up to 95, Turner up to 59. There's still nothing going on with any of these. Sano would sign for 5.82 mil a year. We bump it down to 4, we can get up to 100%. We're still not even 6 mil. What if I bump it down to 3? Just above 6 mil would do it. Maybe I want to do this actually. Maybe I only want him for 3 years. Pay him a little bit extra to have him for less time, but then just in case something else opens up or he sucks. I think we're gonna do this. I think I'm gonna go ahead and offer to Sano 3 years, 6.05 mil a year. We'll guarantee, 100% interest. I would assume that means we're guaranteed to sign him. And then, yeah, that fills out our DH spot one way or another. Even though he's a bad fielder, we do have some positional versatility with him. And he isn't a potential under 30. He could keep getting better. This is a good signing. I wouldn't have still had him on our screen if it wasn't. So let's go ahead, submit offer, add some more power to this team. And there he is. Kind of looks weird with him in a White Sox jersey after his whole career in Minnesota, but I'll take him. Oh, and we could just get TA pretty much all the way up to 100, but I do want to see what happens if we add Severino. Just out of curiosity. We can... Alright, you know what? No. I think I'm just going to go ahead, leave spot 3 open so we can get more percent for TA. He'd get up to 99%, and then I might just go ahead and sign him, just so we can lock him up, because it would probably only take bumping that up by 1. So that'd be what, the equivalent of 130k. That would get him to 100, guarantee he comes back, and then we don't have to worry about that anymore. Then we're open. So I'm gonna do that. So we're gonna advance from here. He should get up to 99%, and then we'll go ahead and sign him on New Year's Day, right? Yeah. Boxberger to the Pirates, Whistler to the Diamondbacks, Castro, no big signings here. And we're back. Don't need you, my man. TA's up to 99%, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the trigger here. Bump that up by 1. I'm fine keeping him for 5 years until he's 34. 100%. I wonder why the guaranteed accept is 7 years 3.4, because 5 years 3.4 gets 99, 6 years gets to 100. So why does it have to be 7 for the guaranteed? Interesting, but we'll do 5 for 13 mil, 13.5 mil. Go ahead and submit that, and we have just made sure that we brought back Tim Anderson. I would assume, right? 100%, there would be no chance he's gonna go somewhere else. There we go. All is right in the world. All right, now that burden is off our chest. Good. 55 mil left, which is plenty. If we do want to get a Turner, we can see what the offer would look like. What would the guaranteed be? 7 years, 37.4 a year. We could afford that. I still don't know, man. I'm still apprehensive about the Trey Turner thing, because obviously we'd have enough to bring him back. I'm just worried about, what if we need to sign people later? But I guess Lynn, after this year, that would free up 19 mil. Pollock, that would free up another 12. And Hendricks, if we didn't bring him back, would be another 18 freed up. And Grandal. Actually, I might not even be, depending on how this next season goes, I might not even be bringing Grandal back, especially if he regresses. Because, we have Collins. Not like he's going to be insane, but we could probably make do with them after all those upgrades. So yeah, I guess we will have plenty of money getting freed up after next season, and we don't have to worry about paying Robert for another couple years, Eloy for another couple years, another couple years on Moncada. I just still don't know about the Giolito thing, but then Kopech and Cease should be fine for another couple years under arbitration. So yeah, actually, now that I think about it, we might have no reason to leave any money left over. Maybe we just go for it all. Maybe we do go for Turner and Severino. There might be no reason to get anybody else then after that. Because what do we got then? We have TA at short. First base will be a potential platoon, mix in DH, whatever. Outfield set with Pollock, Robert, Eloy. So we do just need second base, and that would be Turner. Leury would then be the bench utility guy. Our bench would then be Engel, Leury, Collins, and then whoever's not playing in the platoon on any given day. Man, I didn't even think we could even incorporate Moncada into a platoon. It would involve having Sano playing third, but Moncada's not that great against lefties. I don't know. We'll figure all that out eventually. I guess there'd be no reason not to do the Severino thing also, because we get Severino, then this year our rotation is unbelievable. But then even looking further into the future, we just let Lance Lynn walk. We already have the new high 80s guy to replace him. Giolito, Kopech, and Cease are probably all going to be mid to high 80s. Luzardo's then going to be around an 80, and then he could just come into the rotation where Lance Lynn leaves. I think that might be the move. That's probably the smartest thing to do. I mean, it's not like if this was real life, I would feel bad sending Luzardo back down to the minors for another season, but it's not real life, so I don't really have to worry about that. We're gonna go after him then, man. Turner, Severino. I'll change these to hopefully give a little more. Actually, no, I'm gonna leave it favoring Turner for now, just so we can gauge Severino's interest first. Turner will go up to 75 after this, and then we'll see what Severino's at. So yeah, let's move on, see what's good. Chapman goes to the Orioles. I feel like they've made a decent amount of signings. Mitch goes to the Braves. Tucker Barnhart. Keone Kela to the Twins. Kershaw. He was the highest pitcher on the list. I was kind of avoiding him though because he was older and you don't know how he's going to regress. I guess he didn't regress at all last season, but they only signed him for 1 year. Paxton goes to the Blue Jays. Roberto Perez to the Brewers. Kluber. Wow, all these older pitchers going off the board. Kluber to the Dodgers. And then Carlos Martinez to the Angels. So that means Severino's still on the board. Adam Duvall, no thanks. All right, so Severino is at 44%. So we got a little bit of ways to go with him with not a whole lot of time to do it. Turner's getting there though. 75% on him. We could get that all the way up to 87 just from increasing the money, but with how much he's asking, each increase is way more than any other one we've done before. His guaranteed would be 7 years, 35 mil. And I don't know, I mean, he did kind of regress. So 7 years for him, if he's already regressing a little bit in what was his age 28 season, that might be a little risky because he could regress quick once he gets into his 30s. So maybe we don't want to bump up the years when it comes time to do it. I don't know. I'm just thinking now, do I want to keep getting a lot of interest coming from his way, or do I want to focus more on Severino, and then on the last week we'll just be not quite at 100% with either of them. Basically, it's do I want to overpay a lot for one guy and not the other guy, or do I want to overpay slightly for both of them? So I'm assuming we have 10, 11, 12, right? So 3 more Sims, not just 2. I could be wrong, but if we have 3, that'd be another 27% we could get for Turner, which would be more than enough to get him up to 100%. We could really only get Severino to about 60-ish%. So maybe I do want to kind of do that, bump that up. And what if I flip-flop him? What happens there? Then it's just 8 to him, 6 to Turner. So Turner would go 81, 87, 93. What if we completely focus on Severino? Then it just goes to 9 and 5. Then Severino could get up to about 70, but then Turner would be stuck at 90. You know what? I think we should probably, if we're going to focus on anything, focus on Turner, because second base, where he'd be playing, is like an actual hole that we need to fill. The Severino thing would just be making our pitching insane instead of just amazing. So actually, we have so much money left that I might even be able to get Turner's interest up to 100, sign him for sure at 100%, and then use the guaranteed thing on Severino once we can, or he'd have to get up to 55. And I guess I'm not entirely sure if we have 3 weeks left. It could just be 2. And if it is only 2, then 5% a week wouldn't get him up to 55. It'd only get him up to 54, because of course it would. All right, so then let's just change one thing to make it 8% and 6%. And I think we can go ahead and advance week now. Let's see what happens. Kiermaier to the Twins, so the Twins get a little better. Well, only in the field, really. Do they still have Buxton? That's going to be an insane outfield if they have Buxton and Kiermaier in the outfield at the same time. Trevor May goes to the Dodgers. Nimmo to the Mariners. And then Josh Bell ends up with the Pirates, back with Pittsburgh. All right, now we're on to week 11. Greinke wants to sign with us. That's okay, man. we don't need you and your minus 13s and 12s. All right, Turner up to 83, Severino up to 50. We can't do the guaranteed thing yet, but I can now switch this back to give Turner 9, Severino 5, because all you need is 55 to do the guaranteed thing. So now we can bring Turner's interest up to 92. Severino can unlock the guaranteed accept, and I think I can just go ahead and advance, because it should still, if somebody's going to get signed, it should still give us that whole last chance thing. So we'll just go ahead another week. Seth Lugo to the Astros, Narvaez to the Astros, Brad Hand to the Cubs, Gary to the Marlins, Matt Strahm to the Brewers, Rosenthal to the Angels, and now we're on to the next year. Cesar, I mean, it's nice to know that he's a potential option if we do run out of other options to sign at second base, but we'll hit not interested for now. And I'm a little worried because it does say week 12 of 12. Does this mean if I just straight up don't sign anybody right now, then it's over and I blew it? Or does it mean that I would get one more shot? I would assume I would at least get that last chance thing to pop up, seeing as they are on my interested thing. But just out of curiosity, we could get Turner up to 100% interest by going up to 33.38 a year. He'd still be at 99% if we bumped it all the way up on the salary, but down to 3 years. Man, I might just say screw it and use all of our budget, because why not, right? I don't need to second guess this. We already went through the depth chart. We already figured out how much salary is going to be freed up. And even thinking to this point next season, Vaughn will probably be a 82-ish, which is what Pollock is now. So we could just make Vaughn be our right fielder. We wouldn't be giving up really any fielding. So then Vaughn doesn't have to fit into whatever platoon we're doing. So then Vaughn just replaces Pollock. We wouldn't need to fill in any spots there. So that's just money being freed up. We wouldn't have to fill in any spot for Lynn. So that's just money getting freed up, because then, we'd have Severino. Luzardo would come up. We might not have to get a top tier arm like Hendricks, so maybe half of that money would just be straight up freed up, because by that point we'll have Crochet probably sniffing a 90 overall, still have Rogers, so we'd have a closer, and then Grandal, we have Collins, who will probably be a 78 and a pretty good hitter by the end of next year. So there's no reason to leave money in the budget, right? We can go ahead and do this. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just going to say, screw it. We're going all in. We're going Dodgers mode, loading up the team, making sure we don't get eliminated like we did this year. And you know what? I might even say screw this, because maybe we don't want Turner for 5 years. I still kind of want to keep it at 100% though, just to be not even worried. So I might do 4 years for Turner. So then we'll have him for age 29, 30, 31, 32. If he ends up regressing, that knocks off a year we'd have to pay him for his regression. So yeah, we'll lock this in. Keep it at 100% just to be safe. The budget will go down to 20 mil, but that should still give us enough to get Severino one way or another. So yeah, let's go ahead and submit this. And oh my god, I did not think this was gonna happen when I started today, but we're gonna add Trey Turner. Oh no. Okay, this signing will include a competitive balance tax. This tax will also be deducted from your off-season budget. Okay, well, I didn't have a chance to decline that, but crazy, dude. I did not expect this. All right, well, it still says our off-season budget is at 20 mil, so maybe it already factored in whatever the tax was. All right, and now I do think I'm going to take the chance of advancing to the next stage before we give Severino a shot, but we'll make sure we get as much as possible. 10%, he is a power pitcher, right? Yeah. All right, so yeah, we'll be adding 10% to Severino. Hopefully I'll get a chance to then sign him, maybe even use the guaranteed thing. If I used it now, it would be 7 mil, 14.9 a year, but we can't afford that. The 7-year part kind of sucks. Or I could even leave it up to chance and just see what happens with whatever we can offer him. And I do anticipate that off-season budget going going down after it said whatever that tax thing is. But we'll hit advance. We'll see what happens. Maybe I just blew it. VR to the Giants. All right, we do get one more chance to sign him. Michael Waka, no thanks. So free agency final day. We still have $20.5 million in the budget. We can either see if we get lucky and sign Severino without using the guaranteed, or we can just go ahead and use the guaranteed. Make sure we lock him up. So we'd have him for age 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. So I guess Lance Lynn's 35 this year, so there is always the chance Severino doesn't even regress until the final season, because Lynn didn't regress at all. And you know what? I'm sure even with, well, for one, we might not even make it an additional 7 years in this series, so maybe I'm worrying about nothing right now. But also, we could even have trades pop up, who knows? So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and guarantee this, that we sign Severino. We're going to use up just about every last drop of available budget we had at the beginning, and we're going to go ahead, we're going to sign Luis Severino to make every aspect of our team going into the 2023 season just ridiculous. So yeah, final day, final player, use our only guaranteed accept offer. Oh my god, this is broken. So tell me, if you're still watching to this point and you have done March to October off seasons, are they always this ridiculous? Can you always just get this many good players, or did something just crazy happen for me in this off season? Because I have no frame of reference. All I know is we are going to have an even better team going into the 2023 season when we already had as good of a team as we did. So I guess there's nothing else to do. We'll look at this first. I mean, dude, imagine by the end of the season, by playoff time, not only do we have this insane team, but a bunch of our guys are going to improve. Like Luis Robert could be a 95 plus. Eloy could be up to about an 87, 88. Mancada could be a mid 80s guy. Sheets could be approaching 80. Vaughn could be a low to mid 80s. Our pitching, I mean, there's a chance that Giolito, Kopech, Severino, and Cease all improve, and they all improve a decent amount. I guess maybe not Kopech, because he is just a B potential, so he could already be at his potential. I don't know. If we don't win the World Series with this team in the next season of this March to October, then I don't know what to say. This team cannot be not winning the World Series. So I guess there's nothing else left to do but hit advance, and I'm assuming that should just take us right into the start of season 2 of the next March to October. I'll just keep hitting advance one day. I missed what just happened there, but it looked like the Guardians signed somebody. Duvall goes to the Rays. Oh man, a lot of guys are flying off the board here. Odor to the Mets. Mancini, we were looking at him. Jock Peterson, Austin Barnes. So a couple in division signings. A couple more signings here near the end. Any more in our division? Doesn't look like it. Probably going to be approaching the end here. Huh? Oh yeah, I forgot next year on the calendar, they did change it so that it goes from March 1st to December 33rd. And there we go. We got a 5-star off season. I mean, if it was anything less, then something would have been wrong. How are we not ranked number 1 in batting and pitching at this point? Key additions. Could you imagine if one team made this many additions in one off season? Turner, Taylor Rogers, TA, but re-signing, Luis Severino, and then Sano. So I'm going to hit advance one more time. And wow, we see the momentum screen. Look at this. We're heading right back to opening day. It's starting us right up again. Season 2 of March to October. We're already here. We're projected at 96 wins. We've got our game 1 against Detroit. And I guess that's where we end this episode. So that was the off season. I still don't know sitting here at the end. I might have broken it down into 2 episodes. I might have kept it to one long one. But whether or not this was 1 or 2 videos, the same rules apply. The same thing applies. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're excited to see this team on the field for the 2023 season. But guys, that's it for me in this one. Successful offseason in the books. We're ready to start the next year. Avenge our playoff loss. So I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I will see you next time.